Welcome to Tiny Talks. Can you introduce yourself to us and tell us the name of this new book that you've just released?
My name is Jacqueline Dickson, and this new book that I've released is called The Golden Casket, Volume 1.
Why did you write these stories?
Well, in the year 2005 onwards, I was going through a really tough time in my life. And I used to write these stories as an escape. I used to almost write them like every single day. I'd start one and, a couple of hours later, sometimes, half an hour later, I'd come out with, the entire story. And it was just something that kept me going. It was like an escape. It took me back to my childhood. I grew up on the world's best fairy tales. Grimm's fairy tales, Hans Andersen. My eldest sister Linda would read to us in the hall room, and we'd sit around her and, listen to tales on a stormy night, as it were. And so it was like I was escaping from whatever I was going through and into this world of fantasy. And so I began to write.
And how did each story and its characters come to you?
Well, as a poetess, I should say that when you're writing poetry, it's not like you're writing a normal little story, because you can have a beginning, a middle, and end. You can have a plot in a normal story. But in poetry, because of the whole thing of rhyming and rhythm and, it kind of just takes you on a journey. I would start off probably with one line, with just the first line, never knowing where it was leading, whether these animals were going to talk, whether it was an inanimate object or what they were going to do. It would just go, and it was like as if the story was writing itself. I would just start and suddenly it was over. And, that's how it came to me. And I never really, and as for the characters, of course I have nieces and nephews and friends. And so, well, I changed the names. But yes, it was based a lot on the characters of family and very close friends around me.
And what do you hope to achieve with the publication of this book?
Well, I first just wanted to get it published. But once it got published, I now want it to be in the hands of children. I want kids to be able to read and understand where I'm coming from. And it's really good foundational messages in each of the stories, teaching them perseverance and, to find their identity and honesty, things like this, but in a really fun way that'll really connect kids to their theatrical side and also help them to connect with one another. And in this day and age, it's so important, kids, they want to join the movies, they want to become singers, they want to become actors, dancers, and this kind of releases that in them. And the stories take them on a journey, and that's what I want. I want the kids to have that beautiful, fun time that I did have when I was growing up.
Are you nervous?
Well, I think every author is nervous at some point. Is it going to sell? Are they going to get me? And because I've put my heart and soul into all these stories and all these years of performing arts. My theater experience and my singing and dancing and everything. It's almost wrapped up in a nutshell into these books, into these stories. And so yes, I'm nervous. I want them to sell. I want people to see it. I want kids like me, being an Anglo-Indian and having grown up most of my life in India, I wanted to reach kids like that who really want to understand their talents and to be able to shine in their talents. I really do want that to happen. So yes, I'm a teensy bit nervous.
Jacqueline Dickson, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.